Okay, so color pencils. All right, the thing you've been using since like first grade to color things in. You might think, what's so fancy about those? You can create really, really beautiful, detailed artwork with color pencils, all right? They're also nice for beginners because, you know, they color well, you can stay in the lines well, but that's not what they're made for. They're made to be professional artist tools. So we're gonna start out, I'm gonna make an orange sphere, and I make a lot of circles, you may notice, and that's because anytime you're using a new material, you want to kind of mess around with it first and make sure you have a good handle on how to use it, all right? And a good way to do that and tell if you're doing that right is by making a sphere, all right? So there's my sphere. And one tip with color pencils is layer, layer, layer. So I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna do this just kind of smooth shading. I'm gonna come in and start shading the darks on my sphere because we all know Miss Clark likes to start with the darks. And I'm not pressing hard, I'm going very lightly. All right, so not pressing hard at all. And I'm gonna fade that out even lighter until I get about halfway up. And I'm mixing even a little between smooth shading and scumbling. I'm kind of going back and forth. That's a personal technique. You'll invent your own as you go, but this is just an example. So keeping it nice and light, kind of shading one direction or doing scumbling. So there's some red started on there. Now I'm gonna come in with yellow, all right? Yellow makes a great kind of highlight color. It also gives things a glow if you put a layer of yellow under or over something in color pencil. So I'm just gonna go over this whole thing with yellow. Nice and even, one direction. All right, now I'm gonna come in with some of my orange, okay? So I'm coming in now and I'm just going over kind of from the bottom, going right over the top of my red. Even though that red is darker, see how it's showing through and this sphere is starting to look a lot smoother the more I layer up. So the more you layer, the better it ends up looking. Layering that, and I'm going almost all the way up here. Wrapping around the outside edges of that. Kind of ovaling it a little bit because I'm gonna need to leave some of it for my highlight. And I know my sphere is crooked. I'm sorry, it's like an egg shape or something, but you get the idea. All right, so there I have that. I'm gonna go back over with my reds now, and you wanna make sure you keep your colored pencils sharp, all right? The sharper they are, the easier they are to draw and shade with, all righty? So there I come with that. And you can see it's getting lighter, lighter, lighter again. And I'm even gonna come over this with my yellow just to blend back through, and I'm gonna go over the entire thing. And this you're gonna see just smoothing it out even more. So the more we layer, the better. All right, another thing you can do, you can use your white color pencil, and you can use that to kind of smooth things out and blend. Sometimes you may want to do that a lot, sometimes maybe not, but it will kind of blend your colors together. It won't show up much as a color and it won't really lighten it much, but what it does is it forces that wax into any gaps that were missed or any little surface holes on the paper. So it makes it look a little smoother, and it mixes them together a little bit. And it's a very, very subtle difference. Like, it's not a huge difference. It's just a little bit. So that's something you can do too, though. All right, now that's just some basics on how to use these color pencils. You also always want to go in and clean up your edges. All righty. You want them to be kind of crispy. You don't want a bold outline, but you want a nice crispy edge. All right. You can even on this too, like if you messed up on a part up here, maybe I want to go and do the background now. Maybe I'm going to make my background black, and I'm going to cover all that up. So using these colored pencils, lots of practice, lots of layering. Keep your pencils sharp. All right. Keep it slow and steady. All right, don't press hard. Layer, 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 layer. All right? And that is our kind of intro to color pencil shading right there.